You're good.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Marc. Today, we're joined with a very special guest. We're joined with Aaron Alexander from Evolution Daily. And me and Aaron, we've talked for quite some time. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I wanted to get him on the channel for quite some time. He is a very interesting, unique character with a very interesting, unique perspective with dating. So, Aaron, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for having me. I'm glad we were able to do this, and I'd love to have you on my podcast coming up soon.
Cool, definitely. I mean, we have you here, and I'd love to be on yours as well. It'd be awesome. So, Aaron, I have some questions for you planned today, actually, to be honest. And it's very interesting because I think you definitely have a different perspective. You said you're from Columbus, Ohio, right?
Basically, Ohio, yeah.
And so you're from Ohio. What was it like growing up in kind of like a smaller state? Like you're not in New York, you're not in LA, or you're not from like Toronto, where like a lot of the top PUAs come out of these massive big cities. What was it like learning in like a smaller city?
I think it's 10 times better. Okay. I think it's way better. So I've gotten that question a lot over the years. Why don't you move to New York? Why don't you go to Vegas, LA, these sorts of things? Now, from a financial standpoint, if I were to live in one of those other cities, it actually would probably be more profitable for me. If I really lived in, say, LA or New York, and all my boot camp students were constantly coming to me in those cities, then there could have been some upside there. But ultimately in Ohio, where I'm at in Columbus, we've got the Ohio State University over here, 60,000 plus student university. Then we've got a lot of like booming industries that I don't give a fuck about, but it makes a lot of these people stay here. So the city's growing pretty rapidly, and we've got three to four poppin' areas of Columbus where you've got 6, 7, 8 bars that are going to be nonstop packed Thursday through Sunday. So the thing is about LA is it's incredibly spread out, right? You've got everything is just so far apart. If you want to go from, Santa Monica over to the Victorian, you gotta Uber all the way over there. We go over here, we're just walking around nonstop, like hot ass college girls everywhere you fucking look. So it's an incredible city.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, no, it just sounds like a fucking great time, to be honest. And I actually always thought personally myself, like smaller cities with like 1 million people, they're kind of better for game in general because, I find the nightlife is always going to be better in a smaller city. Because here's the thing, right? In a smaller city, the price of real estate's cheaper. Like you've been in New York, right? New York, you try to enter a club, you got to show up with 10 girls, dress well, and pay $150 cover and have a connection and have like a guest list booking, right? Versus in a smaller city, like I used to, I spent some time in a city called León, Guanajuato, in the west end of Mexico, right? Very quiet place. And it was interesting because the city was like, again, it was super small. It was like probably like 800, I think it's like 1.3 million people, but all the bars and all the clubs are in the same areas. And so you can just walk from venue to venue to venue to venue. You can kind of just bar hop around, do whatever you need. It was really cool, right? And so a lot of those cities are just like smaller cities are just a lot better for, just like nightlife, dating, everything, right? And so I find a lot of those concentrated areas just a lot better. So that's really cool.
It's a perfect balance because you've got what a lot of guys need in game, especially early on. You're able to find anonymity. You're able to have those packed ass clubs, those packed bars where you are able to do a shit ton of approaches, embarrass yourself, get blown the fuck out left and right. You're able to really have that, bounce over to a whole nother area, kind of do it all over again. But the thing is the city is small enough to where you're also going to be able to run into the same girls over and over and over again. So I always talk about this concept of planting seeds, right? So planting seeds is going to be more difficult in New York or LA. And what planting seeds is essentially there's girls out here at these bars that I've kind of gamed, but it's more so almost just been these hit and run, like, hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm Aaron. What's up? Oh, I'm going to go catch up with my friends over here.
Yeah.
You see them 3, 4, 5 times before you know it. this girl's, Aaron, hi, coming up, giving you a hug. It's like you're this pseudo kind of friendship. Now you're going for those polls. And it's just, you can just replicate that kind of over and over again. And it's not to say that I'm doing that with every girl, because every night I go out, I'm trying to pull I'm going for polls at least 5 times. If I don't pull in those first 5 times, like I'm going for it no matter what. But you do start to harbor those relationships in the smaller cities. Whereas I think you go out in LA or New York a lot, unless you are in direct communication, texting them, it's going to be rare that you're really running into people.
Yeah, no, it's Toronto's definitely an interesting city. Ohio definitely seems like really cool. I've never actually been. I definitely gotta visit. It sounds fucking awesome.
I ran into Austin Summers down in Miami, and he had told me, I never knew this about him. He didn't live in Columbus, but I guess he was here for a while for something. And so he knew about my fucking Whole Foods. He's like, yeah, especially the Whole Foods. It's over there. It's like a bunch of hotties. I'm like, bro, I've got like 30 infields in that one grocery store. And it is a lot of hotties. But like I said, you got to drive around a lot. Wait, hold on. That's interesting. You said you don't drink?
I don't drink.
Wow. When's the last time you drank?
It's been, okay. So I haven't drank for 3.5 years. Like I haven't gotten drunk for 3.5 years. Now, last year, about a year ago, when I got back from Mexico, I did drink once last November because a man paid me 1 full Bitcoin to hook up with his wife. So it's a long story, but essentially what happened was, this man wanted me to pretty much catfish his wife and like seduce her. Like he literally Googled Indian pickup artist and he found me, and he essentially wanted me to like, seduce his wife to catch her cheating so we can get divorced because he's Jehovah's Witness, right? And so like, long story short, this dude ended up paying me a hefty sum of money to end up, seducing and hooking up his wife. And, we never actually had sex either, which is awesome. So like, I'm not like an escort. I'm more of like a private investigator, right? But it was interesting. She ended up, funny enough, she was from, I think she was from Ohio as well, I think.
Maybe I know her. Maybe I fucked her. I fucked a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses in my day. Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe we're Eskimo brothers, dude.
Who the fuck knows, man? I wouldn't be surprised at this point, right? But man, Aaron. So it's like, not drinking has been a huge like evolution in my game anyway, because I've hooked up with like literally like 200 girls since my last time fucking getting drunk, right? And so I always found that really interesting, where it's like, a lot of guys relying on drinking, because like that was me too, man. Like my first few years in the game, like I was drinking, getting fucked up all the time, right? And I developed a drinking problem. I used to work with, if you know Alex Social, like Forward Natural, I used to work with him and Atticus in fucking Australia, right? I was coaching for his company, and I had a fucking drinking problem because these guys are hardcore fucking drinkers, man, right? And so it's like, not drinking is such a huge evolution, I find, because it allows you just like really get mental clarity. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a great philosopher named Lil Xan. Do you know Lil Xan?
I've heard the name.
Lil Xan, he went on Tim Dillon's podcast. It's an unlikely pairing, but he's a big fan of Tim Dillon. And so they messaged each other and did a podcast. And Lil Xan said something that I found interesting, and I found this for myself as well. He was doing 14 Xannies a day. And he said that he's been sober for like a year and a half now. And he said in that podcast, he was like, now I'm addicted to my clarity. He said that. Yeah. And dude, I was so same as you. I started out in the game getting wasted, fucking hammered all the time. I needed that when I first started, right? And I was already a heavy drinker. So why am I going to stop now? And then, Tyler really got in my fucking head, and he's like, you got to be sober to do this. You got to be sober. So I did. I started going out sober, and then that led me into doing 4.5 years of not a sip of alcohol, not a single sip for 4.5 years. And then last year I started drinking again, and I've had periods where I'm pretty moderate and okay with it. But dude, I just fall into the party lifestyle so easy, man. I'm already a little hungover. Someone hits me up to go get drinks at 4 p.m. Well, that beer's sure going to fucking feel good. So fuck it, let's go. And then I just end up in this spiral. So right now I'm on about 2 months, I think, and I'm not committing to forever, right? Like I don't know where it's going to go with being sober, but I will say that anytime I completely sober up, dude, I'm in the gym more.
For sure.
You're enjoying sex more because you're not this drunken slob while fucking, my belly's getting all big because I'm like eating pizza when I'm drunk, everything about it. I'm back in the business more. So I really think that even if guys are listening and they're not going to go sober forever, society normalizes alcohol and caffeine to levels where we don't view them as hardcore drugs, and they are. Alcohol and caffeine are extremely hardcore drugs, and it's normalized by society, so it seems okay. But I would challenge anybody, whatever, dude, whoever's listening to this, whether you're super into pickup, even if you got a girlfriend, you're doing business, whatever, dude, like do 30 days, man. Cut out booze for a while, see what you're able to accomplish, cut it out from time to time.
Yeah. Just 30 days of sobriety is actually huge. That's how I started, right? So, I would always do like 30-day challenges of like sobriety, and then I'll start drinking again after like 30 days, right? And I remember I did 9 months of no drinking, got in a fight, was in a wheelchair, and I was like on my way to Cuba. I was like literally in a wheelchair. I got put in a wheelchair the day before a flight to Cuba, and I'm on the fucking airplane, and they're like, "You want some champagne?" And I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll take 2." You know what I'm saying? And, it was an open bar all week in Cuba. So I'm just getting fucked up all a fucking week. And, it led me back to drinking again. Right. So I did like 9 months of sobriety and then like 2 years of drinking. And so what I wanted to do after that was I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to quit drinking again. And it's been solid 3.5 years. Besides that one night where I hooked up with the dude's wife for Bitcoin, I had some wine, you know what I mean? But it doesn't count because, I was pretty much playing a character. Right. And it's really interesting because I find sobriety just makes you a lot more savage. Like if you think drinking makes you a savage, I think fucking being sober makes you a savage, because you learn how to be like super socially resilient. Like you just learn how to like not be a pussy. You learn how to be confident, charismatic, social, and just like the best version of yourself while sober. Right. And I'm scared to drink. I'm fucking scared to drink now. Cause I imagine if I were to fucking take a drink, I'd be a fucking psycho. I'd be a crazy motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had that while I was totally sober, and I'm getting that feeling again because right now I'm just so locked in. Like I am in the gym goddamn near every day. I'm really working on like good back end shit with Evolution Daily, as well as a side project I'm working on. And my focus and everything is so good right now that literally the thought of drinking, I start kind of thinking it's going to derail me. Why derail myself? And real quick too, for guys that are listening to what Justin just said about when you're even out doing pickup, that you're going to be more savage when you're sober. Dude, again, I've done it all now. Drunk as fuck my first year, I would say. Sober for 4.5 years. Now the last like year and a half or so, been drinking again. And bro, the thing is when you're sober, dude, you get that rush from the social interaction. I'm sure you can relate to this. Like you go out maybe really tired. You had a long fucking day. You get out, you're kind of dead. You didn't even want to go out. And then like one interaction after another, you're talking to this chick. This one's being a fucking bitch. This one you're trying to pull. And all of a sudden, dude, you're just so alive. Mm-hmm. And you don't get that from alcohol. And you're not going to get that same like 2 a.m. fucking cognitive rush of like, let's fucking problem solve here. She says her car's over there. I'm going to offer to get a fucking Uber in the morning. Let's go. Let's solve this. Hey, how about I drive your car home? I'm actually 30 days off booze, whatever the fuck. So it's profound. Yeah.
It's actually crazy because, just being sober, it allows you to like keep the social momentum. I find versus being drunk, you don't really keep it as much. And the fact that you're sober and going out every single day, if you can go out every single day to do like pick up and cold approach, it almost just trains you to just be such a fucking beast with social skills, because you're not relying on alcohol. You're not relying on caffeine. You're not relying on anything but yourself. Right. And you're just relying on you. Right. And maybe I'll have a Red Bull here and there, whatever, to boost my energy levels. But then, yeah, as you said, you become this problem solver. You can drive your car home. You can do all these things that you wouldn't really be able to do. You can think clearly. You can wake up the next day, feel fucking perfectly good. A-okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I mean, and look, we don't got to stick on sobriety this whole time, but I will say this too. I mentioned caffeine in there when I was talking about a minute ago. Dude, the whole fucking world is horrifically addicted to caffeine. Everybody is addicted to caffeine. And I abused the fuck out of caffeine for 11 years straight. I mean, dude, as soon as I started drinking coffee in college, I was like 19. Dude, I've never stopped. Like never, ever, ever. And I just realized a few weeks ago, dude, for no reason, man, I was so on edge. I just was on edge, dude. Like I'd be fucking nervous even right now, like talking to you or talking to a friend, like just anything. I was on edge. And I knew I abused caffeine. Like I've always fucking known it. But I really looked into the caffeine anxiety axis and the way that like it will keep you it literally simulates anxiety. It creates anxiety in you essentially. That's that like nerve open, like alive feeling. So I've been off caffeine now for about 2.5 weeks. And for a few days there, I was miserable, dead tired, couldn't do shit. But like 5, 6, 7 days in, I was great. And now, dude, I just feel so grounded and like you never get the same high. The same high as like a fucking venti fucking cold brew from Starbucks. You're not going to get that high ever again unless you do blow or something. But you just have this more natural, clean energy throughout the day. And it's fucking incredible, man. And maybe I'll go back to coffee eventually. Same with booze. I don't really know. I don't give a fuck. I'm focused on other things. And I just know those things aren't serving me right now.
That's awesome, man. You know, you should be really proud of yourself. Just the fact that you can like get rid of all that shit. And it's really interesting. I think this is like what makes a guy have good game. It's being able to like audit your own behavior, your own like lifestyle, what habits you have, what experiences you're having, and be able to like kind of like almost like you're on a fucking boat. You can like shift where you're going. You can kind of almost like see where you're going. You know, I want to go here instead. And you kind of like turn, steer a little bit away. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
kind of like audit your behavior and your communication, or you can audit your habits to kind of figure out like, is this helping me or is this hurting me? And it's very obvious, like certain things, you know, are going to hurt you in the long run if you continue doing them, right? Such as, I mean, I don't know, let's just say like unprotected sex. Like, guys, I love unprotected sex, right? But it's like, Jesus Christ, I've gotten like 4 girls pregnant, right? Like a lot of people don't know that. Over the years, I got like 4 girls pregnant that I even know about, right? And so it's like, yeah,
this is a Justin Marc exclusive.
Yeah, I don't actually talk about this on social media much, but I've and I don't have any kids out there, right? But as far as I know, but you know,
bro, right, dude. Down in Mexico, all these fucking undocumented, like, dude, they were just fucking giving birth in the Adobes and shit, man.
No, like I'm pretty careful, man. Like I'm really, really careful now. Like after those experiences, you know, a few years ago. As far as I know, I haven't knocked up any girls in the last few years. Or like STDs, for example, right? Like you don't want to be like capturing and spreading STDs, right? So it's like no one wants to use condoms, but you got to use fucking condoms, right? No one wants to go to the fucking club sober, but it's like unless you want to fuck your life up, you need to go to the club sober, right? No one wants to go every single day to work on their soul skills, hit the gym, meditate, do all this like shit that like would develop you over years and years and years, right? But part of my daily routine is like, you know, wake up, shower, listen to some business stuff while I'm in the shower, right? Go hit the fucking gym, listen to some like audiobook while I'm in the gym, right? Go out, do some cold approach, fucking go out in the afternoon, do some like business stuff, whether it's like client stuff, back end business stuff, you know what I mean? And then go out at fucking nighttime, do cold approach, film content, dick around, you know, pull girls, whatever, right? No one wants to have to fucking do all these things every single fucking day because it becomes mentally exhausting. Like sometimes I just want to sit on the couch and play fucking Fortnite. But I know if I sit on the couch and play too much Fortnite, you know, I'm not going to get a whole lot of shit done. You know what I mean? I'm not going to level up. I'm not going to, you're going to replace good habits with bad habits. And you don't want to do that.
Yeah, who you are has been created ever since you were a child, and you end up on this autopilot sort of lifestyle where you're doing the shit that you do and it's not even conscious anymore. Oh, I get a 6-pack after work. That's what I do. I got beers waiting for me. I got that ciggy waiting for me on my fucking work break. You just end up in this cycle of being on total autopilot. And at the end of the day, man, like, our audiences, the people that listen to us, I would say 10% of them, let's say that this podcast were to get a million views, right? Let's say 1,000 views. 100 of them at maximum are fucking going out and doing any approaches whatsoever. These guys don't want to make sacrifices. You guys listening at home, like you're so unwilling to sacrifice who this autopilot fucking Robotron has been for so long, and that keeps you where you are. And I've known guys, and I know that you have as well. We've known guys that they're in the same rut they were in 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. I know people that just 5 years ago had a crazy sob story, and whether I knew them through Evolution Daily, through my local pickup group, whatever it is, 5 years later, nothing's fucking changed. Why? because they're still on cigs. They're not in the gym. They're not doing anything long-term whatsoever. And I think that really anything you can do that challenges your mind is going to sharpen the sword. And I would say that honestly, we talked about this on my mastermind call last night. Pickup is the ultimate dojo of the mind.
For sure.
There is nothing that the male ego is more attached to than his ability to mate. Straight up. Even normies, like forget pickup world, normies out here in the world. You tell anybody, I guarantee you've had this experience. I'll tell people, oh, what do you do? I do dating coaching. I like teach guys how to go out to bars, daytime, go meet chicks. Oh, really? Like people need to learn that? People need to learn that? Oh, dude, when I was in college, oh, you should have seen. And meanwhile, when they were in college, what? You fucked 4 chicks, dated one of them for 3 years. One of them was fat. Like, wow, man, you really cleaned up. So the male ego is so attached to your ability to mate. So because of that, when you fucking face the fire, when you go out to a goddamn club, you go hit the street for fucking 3 hours and you get girl after girl. Sorry, I have a boyfriend. No, sorry. Like, I don't know. Sorry. Bye. Like, go. Dude, you face that brutalizing fucking rejection. It sharpens you, man. You start being able just to face anything. And anybody listening to this right now, again, it's like 90% of them are just straight up not doing any approach at all or fucking 100% not enough approaches.
Straight up.
I talk to guys, just one more thing I want to throw in there. I tell guys this all the time. I always say 5 approaches is basically 0 approaches.
Agreed.
5 is basically 0.
When I talk to like 1, you know what I mean? 10 is like the bare minimum for the day.
There we go. Exactly. 5 is 0. 10 is 1. It's like, dude, how many approaches did you do this week? Oh, you're really struggling, huh? I was on my way to work and I saw this one girl. Oh, so you did 1 approach that day? And one thing I got to add on here is that what guys don't realize is there's that. I think that so much of game comes down to your ability to regulate your anxiety. Mm-hmm. And dude, let's say every time I go out, approach number 1 is like borderline panic attack. Let's say approach number 2 is like, I'm still really anxious. Approach number 3 is I'm starting to calm down. Dude, most of you guys listening have to get to 5 approaches just to now somewhat be yourself. Yeah. So you're always just going to keep fucking staying in this world and jerking off to Janice Griffith every night until you really like bust your ass and get out there and do 30 approaches in a fucking night. Get blown out all night, go home and cry. It's fine.
So I have this saying with some of my coaching clients, my boot camp students, my immersion students, the first 5 don't count. So the first 5 don't count. And what that means is like, whether it goes good or bad, it just doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't even count because you're pretty much just using it as a means to end to get out of that fucking like, anxiety, mental driven state into like a more calm and grounded one. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even take that a step further a lot of times, which is I will always have guys just go in with no intent of even closing. I do that all the time. It's like these guys, they think about going to the bar, they think about going doing day game, and it's so overwhelming because they imagine this moment where they're locked in with this beautiful blonde girl, eye to eye, and now you're trying to shift into going for the date. And because they start thinking of all the anxiety that's going to come up, then they won't even fucking go out. So I'm like, I do this on boot camps all the time and I just give it out as general advice. I'm like, bro, go to the goddamn mall and literally go up to the fucking jewelry stands and inquire about the jewelry. Oh, what's that? Is that chain real gold? The chick's like, yeah, it's like kind of whatever. Just talk about some shit to people that have to talk to you. Go into a store and be like, do you guys have this in large? Do you think this one? What do you think about these jeans? Talk to these people that have to talk to you, or just anybody in general. And that's just going to loosen up. That's going to get you with that eye contact going, getting the motor moving. And now you're able to, again, alleviate some of that anxiety.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, back to what we're talking about, alcohol and caffeine and all this stuff. It's like a lot of guys will rely on that shit. Like a lot of guys will, I mean, even me, dude, this past week, I did a fucking 8-day version program. Students flew in. We all killed it. One of my students had his first kiss on the street. I had students pulling for the first time in their life, right?
Hell yeah.
I'm fucking exhausted by the end of the night, man. Of course I'm drinking a fucking goddamn Red Bull. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you don't want to be relying on it to be in a good, positive emotional state, right? You want to get that from within. You want to draw that from within. You don't want to rely on drugs, alcohol, caffeine, any of that shit to be in a good emotional state, right? And so, using social skills, you can actually get yourself in a good emotional state. One of the exercises I had the students do on like the 3rd or 4th day of program is they'll do the 100 approach challenge, where they're not allowed to go home until they do 100 approaches in a fucking day, which is so crazy.
That's savage.
I actually filmed it in LA when I was on a boot camp there. And then when I was in Toronto last month doing a program here, I filmed another one where I did 100 approaches in a day, and I filmed it. It's going to go on YouTube soon. And it's crazy because it's like, you would think it'd be this hard thing to do, but by the end of the day, you're this fluid, social, charismatic fucking guy, right? And it's funny because, some of the girls I'm meeting, one of them has like she's an OnlyFans star with 100,000 Instagram followers. She's now in my social circle, by the way, from that fucking video. She's in my social circle. She comes to my parties and shit. I met a Playboy Playmate. It never went anywhere with her. But, a lot of these girls, like, they ended up like meeting them other days, right? It's really fucking crazy. And I remember at the end of the night, we ended up throwing a party here in my penthouse with the girls we met from Cold Approach. Like, so all my students, maybe like everyone approached like 100 girls. Actually, I was the only one to approach 100 girls. The students got to like 40 or 50. And, every single student brought girls over to the penthouse after. And, the entire place was packed. It was like a 5-to-1 ratio of girls to guys, just from girls that we met on the fucking street, right? That day, which was so crazy.
And I would say, well, and I just wanted to ask too, the guys that did, the students, how you said you were able to bust out the 100, they were doing like 40 to 50. I think that that's because these guys have this sort of narrative in their mind that they need to almost recoup from what just happened. You probably are able just to go like, boom, 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 boom. And they are in this headspace of, I need a minute. Oh man, like I gotta, that was brutal. And it's just so much of just that rejection killing them.
Well, my first time ever trying this, I actually remember the date. It was New Year's. So it was like December 31st, 2013. Okay. So it was about to be like 2014. And this is my first time trying this with my wingman in Toronto's Eden Center. And we're just like running around, and he did 100 approaches. I can only do 30 because after every fucking approach, I was like self-analyzing. I was writing down these sticking points that I had. I was writing down everything I need to work on. My wingman was telling me to work this, this, and this. And it was like, I was overwhelmed. So I can only get to 30 approaches. Right. And I was like 18 years old. And I remember I went to a shisha bar that night, and I was actually depressed because I was like, fuck, I'm a piece of shit. I only did 30 approaches. Like, my game's fucking shit. You know what I mean? I got to work on these things now. But then I ended up like pulling a girl, and I wasn't like pulling a lot back then. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? It's because the momentum, builds you. Even, that day last month, we did 100 approaches, right? I fucking, at the end of the night, I ended up pulling a girl, right? From the party we had, one of the girls here, I was just in such savage alpha mode that I ended up just like kind of yelling at this girl to take her shoes off. Cause like, I hate when people walk around my place with fucking shoes on and fucks the floors up. And I was just like screaming. I'm like, you come here. And I'm like, why the fuck are you wearing shoes in my house? Right. And I'm like, take it off, relax, and let's, make yourself at home. Let's have a drink. Right. Cause I realized I was being a dick. I'm like, okay, cool. Calm down. Be nice. Right. And she ended up liking me, thinking this intriguing dude. I ended up telling her all about all the pickup stuff and what I was doing. And she ended up like just thinking I'm cool. And she was like older than me too. She's like a 30-year-old investment banker chick. And we ended up hooking up. Right. And it's just so interesting when you're in that social flow, you're just a lot more savage and alpha and confident. Right. And, girls are going to be naturally attracted to you almost. It's very strange. Right. And it's crazy because even 2 of my students who did this challenge this week, I had 2 students who did over 100 approaches. Right. And they got fucking life-changing results. Right. And so just being able to go out and actually do that kind of thing. And I'm not even recommending most of these guys do this because a lot of guys watching this video, unless you do it with like a coach who's kind of guiding you, you're going to just burn down your whole fucking city. A lot of these guys watching this video are going to just try to go out and do 100 approaches every single day. And they're going to burn down the city. They're going to build a crazy, creepy reputation. This weird pickup guy who's just running around harassing all the fucking girls. Now, you got to do it in a way that's like really articulate and intelligent, that in a way that's very subtle as well. So you won't build like some sort of crazy reputation. Cause funny enough, it's like, I have guys come up to me every single night when I go out saying, hey, Justin, I like the content. Like, cool. I have girls come up to me who see me on I have girls who see my TikToks, my YouTube videos. I cold approached a girl the other day and she's like, oh, I've seen you on YouTube. And I'm like, well, what did you think, darling? And she's like, it's a lot. And I'm like, make sure to like and subscribe. Right? And it's just crazy. Right? I met a girl from Cold Approach, and then I went on like a double date with her friend and one of my students. And the girl was like, "I seen you on the Explore page on Instagram." I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Right? And it's very interesting. Like you'll definitely build a reputation, but there's ways you can like kind of frame it where, whether or not you're using social media or Cold Approach or, building this reputation, you're going out there, you can frame it as like, instead of you just being this like weird POA guy, you're just this cool social guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's a big thing. You'll get this with a lot of guys that are in college, especially too. Dude, I want to approach on campus, but I don't want to get that reputation as being the whatever. And here's what I always tell guys about day game, especially. I don't know, you can disagree with me on this. I think plenty of people do. In my opinion, day game, you don't really need to state intent.
No.
You really don't. If I'm a man, you're a woman, my tone's on fucking point. When I'm talking to these girls, they can tell I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the tone, it's the energy, it's the eye contact. Bro, I never need to say like, you're like really hot today. Like, bro, like if I just go up, use some sort of indirect opener, start shooting the shit with her about this and that. Hey, you ever been over to da-da-da? No, what's that? We should let's grab a drink sometime. So now you're not going to get the reputation of fucking being the creepy guy. Oh, this is the guy that asks girls to go to drinks every once in a while. Like, fuck off. And it's like, so guys like us, I don't know exactly all of your experiences, but I'm in this city, 1 million people, not that big. That's all the suburbs included. I mean, just the area I'm in is much smaller. And I've been fucking out here filming for years. I've been out here just burning the town down. And I've had nothing real negative. I've had little shit, right? That guy's like a pickup artist, like little tiny dumb shit, but it never actually like went anywhere, right? So these guys that are just afraid of doing what's that?
Like no one's ever, I don't think anyone ever has ever called me out of being a pickup artist, right? Now the other day, and I swear to God, this is the first time ever in my entire fucking life, my entire decade doing this shit, where I'm on the fucking street. Okay. And I approach some girls and they're like, "Are you a pickup artist?" And my response is, "Why, yes, I am." and then I'm like joking. I'm just inviting you to a party, girls. Like, relax. Fuck. I just thought you're cool. I'm inviting you to a party. Right.
Yeah, dude, I had this is so funny. Before it ever even happened to me, I had a student who was in Vancouver, and on my mentorship program, I'll do sessions where they'll wear AirPods and I will talk to them while they're out doing day game, right? Sometimes I'm like guiding the interaction. Sometimes I'm just feeding them openers, boosting them up, stuff like that. And this kid in Vancouver approaches a chick at a Whole Foods. She goes, "Are you on one of those pickup artist classes right now?" And he's like, "Oh," because he really is. Like he's talking to me. But she didn't put it together that it was through the headphones. He's like, what's that? She's like, "Is your pickup artist coach like over here telling you what to do?" So she was thinking it was an in-person thing. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, and it's all about, everything is about the way that you will frame it, right? So if you get accused of that and you crumble, oh my, no, I would not, right? What the fuck, pickup artist? What are you talking about? It's like when you're relaxed, other people are relaxed.
Dude, I'll just own it. I'll literally just fucking own it. Like, yeah. yeah, sure. What? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think that I mean, that's a great mentality. I do love that. That's extreme ownership. I love that. For me, I never really do. I never like own that. I will tell girls what I do a lot of times. So now lately girls ask what I do. And I say, "Oh, I have a podcast." They're like, "What? You have a podcast?" And then
you like ease them into it. You know what I mean?
Dude, yes, exactly. Easing them. I got a good buddy. He always says you ease them into your truth. So I start with the podcast. They think that's kind of cool, whatever. I tell them it's like, I teach guys like dating, confidence, business, all this kind of stuff. And then if they ask what it's called, I just say, like, if I get to know you a little more, maybe I'll tell you. I don't want you to listen to it yet. And again, it's not this scared energy of, I don't want you to listen to it. It's this playful kind of thing. And so yeah, man, it's like people can only get under your skin if you let them in any way.
I just tell them I do TikTok. Like when girls ask what I do, I'm just like, I do TikTok. I'm like, TikTok. or like if they ask me like how I make my money, because they'll go on my Instagram, this says like dating coach. I'll say I'm more of a VIP lifestyle development coach. Like it's pretty much what I do. Yeah. I mean, and it's just like, awesome, yeah. Because otherwise, like, what the fuck, right? But a lot of girls just don't give a shit, dude. And it's cool, you know what I mean? And those are the girls I want to go for anyway, dude. People are going to try to criticize you no matter what you do anyway. Like you could be a fucking goddamn accountant, right? And girls are going to give you shit, right? And so it's like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, like own yourself, right? Just own what the fuck, who it is, who you are, what you do, right? You shouldn't ever be ashamed. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're like a domestic terrorist or like some like illegal fucking horrible fucking thing, right? Like, okay, maybe don't like run around telling people that, right? But like, you know, I think what we do is actually a lot more wholesome than the reputation it gets. And, you know, the fact that I got paid to help people, I fucking love it. And I own that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, whenever I do end up letting a girl into that world, or I've even had girls where they just did decent research, right? Aaron, Columbus, dating coach, podcast, like whatever, they fucking find me. I've had those situations and I've never had it blow up on me. I really explain what it is, what we're doing. And, you know, you and I, and, you know, maybe like Austin and this kind of almost class of, you know, dating coaches, whatever, that kind of have come up in the last, you know, 6-7 years, whatever. It's like, we've all kind of moved more towards that anyway. That is the real direction. We're not these like creepy fucking weirdos that are out here running these routines designed to like take over the woman's mind with NLP and all this like weird shit. We're just guys that are trying to be in great shape. We're trying to be successful, make money, be awesome guys, and talk to a shit ton of girls, fuck a bunch of girls, date some girls. It's fine. What are you all out doing, right? All these guys that aren't pickup artists, that are just accountants, they go out to the bar talking to their buddies every night. Dude, I'm going to fuck Kenzie tonight, man. I'm getting wasted. I'm going to fuck Kenzie, dude. You're just all not admitting it. That's what it all comes down to.
Straight up. And I mean, dude, like, especially in a city like Toronto, man, holy fuck, you on the street and every guy's like a natural. Dude, I swear to God, the other night, I was going to fight with 6 huge black dudes. Right. Because my fucking buddy calls me. I've actually bumped into some girls that my buddy cold approached like 2 weeks ago. And one of the girls met like one of my main chicks I'm dating. Cause I was with like the main chick. We're out to dinner. And then, you know, I bumped into these girls and one of the girls had messaged my main chick asking to have a threesome with me because I made it like a kind of like joke about having a threesome, but it wasn't a joke. I was like, you know, let's have a threesome. Right. And so anyway, I bumped into this girl. We start making out on the street and I call my buddy and I'm like, yo, I bumped into these girls. Like, you know, you want to come over to the penthouse, have some drinks with these girls? And I'm like, yo, like, I want to get the fuck out of here. There's all these hoodmans on the street. Cause there's all these like Wagwan fam, like hoodmans everywhere. And they're super fucking aggressive. Right. And it was fucking crazy because one of the guys overheard me and they're like, what do you mean hoodmans? And these guys, like 6 dudes tried to chase me around the street. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Right. And they're like trying to fight my students because I'm with students. They're trying to like fight my students, trying to fight me. I defuse the entire fucking thing. I run across the street. I'm with my buddy. He's one of my assistant coaches. He's a U.S. Army veteran. And we like pulls me out of the situation. I text the girls, they meet me across the street, take them home. And, you know, a gentleman never remembers, you know what I'm saying? And it was just it's just like learning this shit in a city like Toronto, or like even fucking in LA when I was in LA or like fucking I've been to like Miami and all these places. Like, dude, there's so much fucking competition of dudes who are literally going to try to literally fight you over girls that it's like, bro, of course you have to be a fucking pickup artist. You have to learn this shit if you want to be successful because you got to differentiate yourself from every other fucking creepy dude who can't get in the clubs, who can't get in the bars because they dress like shit and they show up in packs of 12 guys and they have no fucking game. You got to like be able to demonstrate to the woman you're talking to, I'm not one of these fucking creepy weirdos. I'm this well-dressed, articulate gentleman, you know, who will show you a fucking great time and a great emotional experience. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, and that too, I will say back to, adding on to what we were talking about earlier about small towns versus big cities. I would say that in a smaller city, I actually probably have to deal with more aggression from dudes than in bigger cities. I think in bigger cities, you probably are going to have a lot more of just single people kind of going out, like 2 dudes going out for drinks to maybe meet chicks, 3 girls going out for a night out, that kind of thing. In Columbus, it's a lot of friend groups. Yeah, it's a lot of like, I'm really talking to chicks that are with like 4 other guys and there's 5 chicks and whatever. And so that's something that I know definitely early on fucked with me a lot, dude. I'd kind of crumble. I'd get real nervous, that sort of thing. And I think just some of it comes with age, but I think a lot of it also comes from then realizing that when you don't view them as a threat and you just bro out with these guys, you can neutralize them. And I always end up dropping the question. So, guy kind of like, I see him, maybe looking at me and shit. I more than likely, I try to just like avoid dudes in general. But if they're looking at me or they're involved, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Fucking dap them up. You guys all live together, your roommates, whatever. You start vibing with this dude a little bit, bro. Who's dating like those two? You just can like throw that line in. Oh, dude, they're fucking single, man. And so the more you even get used to that, that's just another sharpening of the sword of the mind of just being comfortable, social, not walking around on edge all the time. And it's something that a lot of guys are in avoidance of. And I would say, face it a little more and realize it's not as daunting.
Aaron, man, you're such a cool fucking guy. I feel like we have so much to share with each other and so much in common that we can literally talk about this shit forever. But, we've been going for almost an hour here. And, I think there's been a lot of wisdom and golden nuggets dropped here. So, what I think we should do? I think we should do a part 2 at some point, maybe on your channel and your podcast or whatever. And, I think everyone should go check out your channel as well. Where can they find you, Aaron?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Evolution Daily on YouTube as well as Instagram, and check out evolutiondaily.com. I've got all my courses and coaching, all of that over there.
Cool, man. Well, Aaron, thanks so much for being on the channel here today. The Fuckboy Podcast. It was a pleasure. Guys, my name is Justin Marc, international dating coach, relationship expert. Go check out Aaron. Go subscribe to our channel. Click the bell notifications so you're notified new videos. Go follow me on Instagram at drunkjustin2. And again, go check out Aaron's channel. Subscribe to him. And we'll see you guys very soon in a new video. Peace out.
Peace out, guys.